Well, I've been taming the jungle a bit recently. I've been negotiating for the use of a wee bit of land. It's only point 0.4 of an acre, across the road from the wee stone cottage we hope to be living in very soon. Negotiations are looking pretty good at the moment, and I have the owner's permission to do some clearing of the site, which is really overgrown with grass about 8 foot high, and nettles, brambles and ivy. I cleared about half of it a week ago and allowed the grass to dry and then set it on fire. This week I've built an even bigger bonfire, which I've been adding to ever since. When it dries out enough, I'll have another blaze. I was working on the site the other night and thinking, here I am building a bonfire, and it's just about bonfire season. In Northern Ireland we have this Protestant tradition that dates back to 1690, when the Protestant Dutch prince, William III, defeated King James II of Scotland, who also happened to be Catholic, at the Battle of the Boyne. This battle took place on the 12th of July 1690, and so every year we have what is known as the 12th of July, or simply the 12th. I've seen it described online as Orange Man's Day, but nobody in this part of the world would know what you're talking about if you called it that. On the night before, the 11th night, each Protestant area will light up a large bonfire, often with an effigy of the traitor Lundy on top, and sing, dance and drink beer around it. It sounds like a great folk tradition, and some people try to sell it as a kind of tourist attraction to visitors. But unfortunately it's a very one-sided, triumphalist tradition, and as it often ends up with riots and petrol bombs and policemen and firemen injured, it tends to backfire on the attraction front. There was a time many years ago when most Protestants would have put up the Union flag for the month of July, but since the Troubles gave flags and marches such a bad name, most Protestants now, especially the middle class, tend to give the whole thing a miss and get away off for their holidays before the event. Anyway, as I drove home last night, I passed about 8 of these bonfires, the last one being just across the road from my house. It was blazing merrily, and with the reflection in other people's windows, it looked like the whole place was on fire. Thankfully it all passed off peacefully in our area, though not in some other parts. As I had been working down at the site in Listuder, I also needed to dig a trench through some very soggy ground, so as to allow a drain to be released into the river and the ground to dry out. I don't know if it was a Lurgan spade I was using or not, but it was a long one. You see, we have a saying here that someone had a face on him like a Lurgan spade, meaning a long face. He wasn't happy. Or sometimes we might say, should a gob on her like a busted boot? Anyway, the soggy ground became more and more like I was digging turf, which you do with a special long one-sided spade called a slan. In the past, the slan was made differently in different areas of the country. West of the River Bann, which would be predominantly Roman Catholic, they used the left-handed, or footed, slan. East of the Bann, in counties Antrim and Down, which are mainly Protestant, it dug with the right foot. So the expression developed that if someone digs with the left foot, it means they were Catholic or nationalist, and vice versa. In our football-mad age, this has since got corrupted into kicks with the left foot, or right foot. But the original expression came from how we used to dig turf in the past. So there was I digging this trench, and I noticed I was tending to dig with my left foot. It seemed just a wee bit odd to me, as there had just been building my very own bonfire. Well, it amused me.